Let me be clear. If you're tired of chasing money, of working hard and getting nowhere, stop scrolling. This video is the wake-up call you've been needing. I'm going to break down 7 rules that flip the script, where instead of you chasing money, money starts chasing you. These aren't feel-good theories. They're real, actionable principles that successful people swear by. You want results? Then lock in. Watch this to the end. Your financial future depends on it. Money follows value, not effort. We've all been taught that hard work is the secret to success, that if you grind long enough, hustle hard enough, eventually the money will come. But let's be brutally honest. If that were true, wouldn't every construction worker, school teacher, or nurse be a millionaire by now? These are some of the hardest working people in society, yet they're often underpaid and overworked. That should tell you something. Money doesn't follow effort, it follows value. And understanding this shift in mindset can change your entire financial trajectory. So what does it mean to create value? In simple terms, value is when what you offer solves a real problem or fulfills a powerful desire. That could mean making someone's life easier, saving them time, helping them earn more, feel better, or achieve something they deeply want. Let's take Jeff Bezos as an example. Do you think Bezos became one of the richest people in the world because he worked harder than everyone else? No. He created value by building a system, Amazon, that made life simpler for millions. One-click ordering, lightning-fast delivery, and a platform for small businesses. That value attracted money like a magnet. Or take someone like a skilled software developer. One line of code that automates a multi-million-dollar process creates far more value than someone doing manual labor for 16 hours. It's not about the hours you put in, it's about what those hours produce in terms of impact, efficiency, and scalability. Here's a practical way to evaluate your own value. Ask yourself, whose life is better because I exist? If you can't answer that with clarity, then you're probably working hard but not getting ahead. Value comes from solving pain points, whether it's through a product, a service, a piece of content, or even your presence in a team or organization. The good news? You can increase your value. It's a skill. Learn how to solve more complex problems. Master high-leverage skills. Be the person who brings clarity in chaos, the person who can take abstract ideas and turn them into profitable systems. That's when you'll notice a shift. People begin to seek you out, opportunities multiply, and money becomes a byproduct of your contribution rather than a desperate pursuit. We're in a value-driven economy. That's why YouTubers, influencers, app developers, and online educators can earn more in a month than some people do in a year. They've figured out how to package value in a way that reaches many. So stop thinking like a laborer. Start thinking like a builder of value. Money chases that. If you want to attract serious money, stop focusing on small wins and start solving big, expensive problems. This is one of the most overlooked truths about wealth creation. The bigger the problem you solve, and the more it costs people to not have it solved, the more money will flow in your direction. That's not theory. That's economics in action. Money is simply a reward for solving a problem. The more urgent and painful the problem, the higher the reward. Think about this. Why does a heart surgeon make more than a general practitioner? It's not because they work more hours or wear a fancier coat. It's because they solve a more specialized and life-critical problem, and the cost of failure is enormous. That's value. The same applies across industries. If you're a consultant who helps a company save $5 million in wasted logistics every year, they'll gladly pay you $100,000 for that solution. But if you only offer generic advice that's easily Googled or outsourced, you'll struggle to command even a few thousand. Let's talk real examples. Ever heard of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx? She solved a very specific problem. Women wanted to wear slimming undergarments without the discomfort of traditional shapewear. She wasn't just selling fabric. She was solving a confidence issue for millions of women. That's an expensive, emotional problem. She built a billion-dollar empire off it. Or look at Elon Musk. Whether it's revolutionizing payment systems, PayPal, transportation, Tesla, or space travel, SpaceX, he isn't dabbling in low-stakes ideas. He's solving expensive problems on a massive scale: energy efficiency, interplanetary travel, sustainable transport. His wealth followed his obsession with big, costly issues. Now let's bring this down to your level. What expensive problems do people face in your space? Is it wasted time? High turnover in their business? Poor online visibility? Chronic stress? Insecurity? The trick is to find a problem people are already paying to fix, and then do it better, faster, or more affordably than the next person. If you're in fitness, don't just offer generic coaching. Specialize in post-injury rehab or weight loss for diabetic clients. If you're in tech, don't just build websites. Solve high-ticket problems like funnel optimization or cybersecurity for financial firms. Here's another powerful idea. People pay to stop bleeding. If a company is losing $50,000 a month due to bad systems, and you come in with a fix that stops the bleed, they'll pay you generously. On the flip side, if your offer is vague or optional, it gets ignored. Think in terms of ROI, return on investment. The question every buyer asks, whether consciously or not, is, what will this do for me? Make sure the answer is clear, compelling, and costly to ignore. Now ask yourself, are you currently solving a cheap problem or an expensive one? Are you addressing symptoms or root causes? If you're offering $10 solutions, don't expect to earn $10,000. You have to scale your thinking before you scale your income. The beauty of this rule is that you don't need a massive audience. You just need the right problem to solve. A freelancer solving high-cost B2B problems can make six figures with a handful of clients. A small online business with a unique solution to a painful problem can out-earn massive companies that just offer generic products. And remember, your first client could be you. What expensive problem have you solved in your own life? Build a system, a product, a method around it. People crave solutions with proof. Your own journey can become the blueprint for others and the foundation of a high-value business. Solving expensive problems is not about being smarter. It's about being strategic. Train yourself to see pain points, to ask deeper questions, to understand what really costs people money, time, stress, or opportunity. When you can articulate someone's problem better than they can, they will assume you also hold the solution, and they'll pay handsomely for it. When you stop competing on price and start competing on impact, the money doesn't just come, it comes in waves. Learn skills that print money. We live in an economy where certain skills are as good as a printing press. Copywriting, coding, sales, branding, public speaking, negotiation. If you master just one of these, money starts to behave differently around you. It doesn't hide, it finds you. The market rewards value-generating skills, and not all skills are created equal. Folding clothes or answering phones may keep you employed, but skills like closing a deal, writing ads that convert, or designing systems that scale, those open doors to leverage, opportunity, and exponential income. Let's take copywriting as an example. It's the art of writing words that persuade. One email, one landing page, one well-crafted offer could make thousands, even millions, for a company. And guess what? You don't need a degree to learn it. You need obsession, practice, and the ability to study the greats. Think about this. Every ad you see, every product you buy, every investment you consider, they're all shaped by someone who knows how to communicate value with precision. That's copywriting power. It's a skill that prints money. Or coding. You don't need to become a full-stack software engineer overnight, but understanding how to build digital tools or work with those who can makes you dangerous in the best way. Founders like Jan Koum, What's Up, or Kevin System, Instagram, started with simple, specific skills that turned into billion-dollar platforms. Their skills printed money by solving mass problems at scale. Now, here's the truth. The fastest way to go from chasing money to attracting it is to learn a skill that people already pay for at high ticket. Become known for that skill. Hone it, sharpen it, package it. The world doesn't need more average generalists. It needs people who can solve valuable problems quickly. That's why high-skill freelancers and specialists can charge $5,000 for what others try to do for $500. Pick one skill that moves the needle in business or life and master it so deeply that you no longer compete on price. You compete on results. Then you stop chasing clients, and clients start chasing you. 5. Don't trade time for money. Trade results. If you're being paid by the hour, you're already limiting your earning potential. There's only so much time in a day, and when your income is directly tied to your hours, your ceiling is capped. That's why the wealthiest people don't sell their time, they sell results. And this one mindset shift can free you from financial frustration faster than anything else. Think about a lawyer who charges $400 an hour. They're still trading time. But now consider another lawyer who charges a flat $25,000 to win your case. The second one gets paid regardless of how long it takes, because they're selling a result, not hours. The client doesn't care if it takes 5 hours or 50. They care about winning. That's leverage. That's freedom. Now apply this thinking to any industry. If you're a graphic designer, don't charge for the time spent clicking through Photoshop. Charge for the brand transformation you create. If you're in fitness, don't sell 1-hour sessions. Sell the outcome your client wants. Weight loss, muscle gain, confidence. When you shift from hours to outcomes, you unlock the ability to scale, to charge more, and to build a reputation around impact. This shift also changes how you see your own productivity. You start to ask better questions. What gets the result faster? What system or automation can replace 10 hours of grunt work? The goal becomes efficiency, and results become your currency. Top entrepreneurs, consultants, and creators know this. People will always pay more for speed and certainty. If you can get someone a result faster, with less friction and higher quality, you become invaluable. And when you're invaluable, you're unignorable. 6. Obsession beats talent every time. You don't need to be born gifted. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to want it more. Obsession beats talent because obsession trains talent. The person who's all in, who reads, practices, fails, and repeats, will always outpace the one who relies on raw ability. In the long game of money and success, the obsessed become unstoppable. Look at someone like Kobe Bryant. Sure, he was talented, but it was his obsession with greatness that made him a legend. Showing up to practice hours before anyone else. Studying game footage at 3 a.m. doing 1,000 shots a day. That's obsession. And it applies to business, too. The most successful founders didn't start with all the answers. They just refused to quit until they figured it out. Obsession is what makes you keep going after 20 failed launches. It's what keeps you researching while others are binge watching. It's what sharpens your craft until the market can't ignore you. And most importantly, it's contagious. Clients, followers, investors, they can feel it. They trust it. And they want to be around people who are on fire for what they do. But obsession also brings clarity. When you're obsessed, you know what matters and what doesn't. You're not distracted by trends or opinions. You double down. You stay in the gym. And eventually, while the world is still trying to figure it out, you're already cashing checks from your lane. Talent may get you in the game. Obsession keeps you in it long enough to win. 7. Bet on yourself before anyone else does. The world only bets on people who bet on themselves first. That's the raw truth. If you don't believe in your vision, your skills, or your value, why should anyone else? Waiting for permission, validation, or a sign is how people stay stuck. Success comes when you decide to back you, with time, with energy, with risk. Steve Jobs once said, The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. That kind of delusional self-trust, that's what gets investors to write checks, customers to sign up, and movements to begin. It doesn't mean you'll never doubt, but it means your belief will always be louder than your fear. When you bet on yourself, you make different decisions. You stop settling for jobs that drain you. You stop delaying that course launch, that business idea, that new skill. You show up with more urgency, more conviction, more ownership. And that energy becomes magnetic. Betting on yourself also means investing in yourself before anyone else sees the ROI. Buying the course, booking the mentor, spending Saturdays building instead of escaping. Everyone wants results, but only a few are willing to go all in when the scoreboard still says 0. That's where winners are made. You don't need the world to believe in you first. You just need one person, you. When that clicks, you stop chasing money and start becoming someone money chases. Avoid consumer debt like poison. Consumer debt is one of the fastest ways to destroy your financial momentum. It's a trap disguised as a lifestyle upgrade, and it's everywhere. New car. Swipe the card. Vacation you can't afford? Throw it on the credit line. The world markets convenience and dopamine hits at the expense of your future. But here's the brutal truth. The more you owe, the more your money works for someone else. Let's get real. Credit card companies don't make billions because people are managing their debt wisely. They profit off your delay. They thrive on minimum payments, on missed deadlines, on impulsive purchases. That $1,200 laptop you bought at 24% interest, it's costing you thousands. Debt isn't just financial, it's psychological. It weighs on your mind, it limits your choices, and worst of all, it robs your confidence. Look at the wealthy. Do they use credit? Yes, but not like the average consumer. They use it for leverage, not liabilities. They borrow to acquire assets, things that put money in their pocket, rental properties, equipment, business investments. You don't see them using debt to fund lifestyle inflation. That's what separates wealth builders from wage slaves. So if you're serious about letting money chase you, kill consumer debt aggressively. Cut the cards, stop financing your image, and redirect every dollar toward freedom. It's not sexy, it's not fun, but it works. You'll sleep better, think clearer, take bigger risks, because you're not drowning in past decisions. Discipline now creates options later, and freedom is the ultimate ROI. Track every dollar. Money loves order. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will find its own way, usually out of your account. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because they don't track. Your income might be growing, but if you're leaking $500 a month on food delivery and random subscriptions, it doesn't matter. Money loves order. Chaos repels it. Tracking your money does two things. First, it builds awareness. You can't change what you don't measure. Second, it builds control. And control is power. The moment you start treating your money like a business, your finances stop being emotional and start becoming strategic. Take the wealthiest people on earth. They all track. They know their net worth down to the dollar. Their investments, their cash flow, their tax liabilities, all accounted for. Why? Because money respects clarity. When you know your numbers, you make sharper decisions, you negotiate harder, and you invest with confidence. It's not about becoming a spreadsheet nerd. It's about becoming the CEO of your own life. Want to feel rich before you even get rich. Know exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and where every dollar is going to grow. That awareness alone can turn a $50,000 income into six-figure behavior, and six-figure decisions create seven-figure outcomes. 10. The rich think in decades, not paychecks. The broke mindset lives paycheck to paycheck. The rich mindset lives decade to decade. That's not just poetic, it's practical. Wealth isn't built in sprints. It's built with vision. Every dollar, every decision, every investment, it's all filtered through the lens of long-term gain. The rich don't just ask, "What feels good today?" They ask, "What gets me closer to freedom 10 years from now?" Look at Warren Buffett. He didn't become one of the richest men in the world by flipping stocks or chasing trends. He bought great companies and held. He invested early, patiently, and consistently. Why? Because compound growth in money, skills, and relationships only works if you give it time. Now contrast that with the average consumer. Quick dopamine, quick purchases, fear of missing out. The short-term mindset is a recipe for financial anxiety. If you're only ever thinking about Friday's paycheck or next month's bills, how can you build wealth that spans generations? Start thinking long. Want to buy a car? Ask, "How does this affect my 5-year freedom plan?" Want to rent that luxury apartment? Ask, "What could this same money become if invested for 10 years?" Long-term thinking forces better decisions, cuts noise, and reveals what really matters. Success isn't fast, but it's always deliberate. When you think like an investor, not just a consumer, you stop reacting and start building. 11. Stop asking for permission to be wealthy. Too many people are waiting for someone to say it's okay to go after money, waiting for their parents' approval, waiting for society to deem it humble enough to want wealth. That's nonsense. You don't need permission to be rich. You need courage. You need clarity. And you need to own your ambition without apology. Let's be honest. Some of us were raised to believe that wanting money was greedy or selfish, that playing small was noble, that struggle was virtuous. But guess what? Broke people don't build schools. Broke people don't feed nations. Broke people can't walk away from toxic jobs. Wealth gives you choices. It gives you voice. And it gives you impact. So why are you still waiting for someone to validate your dreams? Permission is a myth. No one gave Elon Musk a certificate to build electric cars. No one told Oprah she had the right to become a billionaire. They decided. They moved. And the world followed. Make a decision. I don't owe anyone smallness. I don't need to ask if it's okay to want more. When you stop asking and start claiming, your energy changes. People feel it. Opportunities open. And money that once avoided you starts paying attention. 12. Build multiple income streams. If you rely on one stream of income, you're one bad decision or one bad boss away from disaster. It's not just smart to diversify your income in 2025. It's essential. Wealthy people know this. They don't depend on a single job or client. They build income ecosystems, real estate, stocks, side hustles, digital products, licensing deals, and more. Let's take an example. Say you earn $5,000 a month at your job. Great. But what happens if that company folds? Now imagine you also make $1,000 from freelance work, $500 from a digital course, $300 from dividends, and $200 from rental property. That's security. That's leverage. That's freedom. Technology has made this easier than ever. You can build a brand, launch a service, sell digital assets, or invest, all from your phone. You don't need to be a millionaire to start. You just need to be intentional. Start with 1. Turn it into 2. Then 3. Soon, you're not working for money. Your money is working for you. Multiple income streams don't just protect you. They empower you to say no, to walk away, to choose. And when you have choices, you win. 13. If it doesn't scale, it's a trap. You only have 24 hours in a day. If your income model is tied to manual effort that can't scale, you're trapped. That's the brutal truth. You can hustle hard, yes, but hustle alone doesn't scale. Systems scale. Technology scales. Products scale. If you want money to chase you, you need to build leverage. Look at this way. A coach who only does one-on-one sessions is capped. But a coach who builds a course or a group program can scale to 1,000 clients with the same energy. That's scale. A freelancer who automates client onboarding saves time, and time is money. A YouTuber who earns ad revenue from videos they made 2 years ago? That's scale. Ask yourself, can this grow without me doing more work? If the answer is no, it's not a business. It's a job with a fancy title. Focus on creating value once and getting paid over and over. That's how you flip the script. 14. Sell something every day. Nothing happens until something gets sold. Whether it's an idea, a product, or a service, sales is the engine of money. Too many people fear selling because they associate it with sleaze. But if you truly believe in what you offer, selling is service. It's your duty to share it. Even if you're not in business, you're selling ideas, influence, credibility. And if you master sales, you master freedom. Because you're no longer waiting to be picked. You pick yourself. You create demand. You own your outcomes. Make it a habit. Pitch something daily. Share your value daily. Invite someone to buy daily. Because attention is currency, and consistency multiplies it. 15. Learn to market yourself and your work. In today's world, it's not the best product that wins. It's the best known product. You could be the most skilled coach, designer, or strategist in your field. But if no one knows you exist, you're broke. Marketing isn't optional. It's essential. Learn how to build a brand. Learn how to communicate value in a sentence. Learn how to show up online with confidence and clarity. When you market yourself well, opportunities find you. Clients DM you. Podcasts invite you. Partners pitch you. Stop hiding. Start promoting. Visibility is profitability. 16. Comfort is the enemy of wealth. If you're always choosing what's comfortable, you'll rarely choose what's profitable. Comfort zones feel good, but they're expensive. Growth lives in risk. Money lives in movement. And the second you stop stretching, your income plateaus. This doesn't mean you have to suffer 24/7. It means you choose meaningful discomfort, launching the offer, having the hard conversation, trying the new skill, pitching the high-ticket client. That's how momentum builds. That's how money finds you. The people who win aren't fearless. They just fear regret more than failure. And that's what separates the rich from the rest. By assets, not liabilities. We've all seen it. The new car, the designer bag, the latest tech gadget. It feels like success, right? But here's the truth. Most of those things are liabilities. They lose value the moment you buy them, and they don't put a single dollar back into your pocket. Now contrast that with assets, things that generate income or appreciate in value. Rental property, dividend-paying stocks, a business, intellectual property. These don't just sit pretty, they work for you. When you buy assets, you're stacking future cash flow. When you buy liabilities, you're borrowing from your future to impress in the present. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. Robert Kiyosaki made this distinction famous. The rich buy assets. The poor buy liabilities, but think they're assets. A car isn't an asset if it's draining you every month. A house isn't an asset if it's not making you money. Start small. Buy a book that teaches you investing. That's an asset. Launch a digital product. That's an asset. Own stock in a company that grows over time. Asset. Change your buying habits and you'll change your financial destiny. 18. Invest in what you understand. The worst financial decisions are often made chasing hype. Crypto, meme stocks, penny stocks, NFTs. Someone somewhere is always promising insane returns, and many people jump in without even knowing how it works. That's not investing. That's gambling with a blindfold. Real investors stick to one rule: only invest in what you understand. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, follows this rule religiously. If he doesn't understand the business, he doesn't touch it, no matter how trendy it is. Why? Because understanding gives you clarity. When you know what drives value in your investment, you don't panic during volatility. You hold with confidence. You know when to enter and when to exit. If you don't understand stocks, learn. Read books. Watch YouTube. Take a course. If real estate confuses you, study it before you buy. If your friend pitches you a business idea that sounds like magic, ask questions until it makes sense. Money doesn't reward ignorance. It rewards intelligence, discipline, and patience. 19. Save like the poor, invest like the rich. Here's a paradox. Poor people tend to save what little they have and never invest. Rich people invest first and save strategically. Saving alone won't make you wealthy. Inflation eats it. Banks pay you pennies in interest. But investing, that's how money grows. That's how money chases you. Now, this doesn't mean saving is useless. You need savings for emergencies. But beyond that, hoarding cash is just fear in disguise. The poor say, "What if I lose it?" The wealthy ask, "What if I grow it?" That shift in mindset is everything. Start where you are. Even if you only have $50 left after bills, set aside $10 to invest. Buy a share. Fund your Roth IRA. Buy a book that teaches you strategy. The habit is more important than the amount. Because over time, small investments become a snowball, and that snowball turns into freedom. 20. Learn from people who are already where you want to be. Success leaves clues, but only if you're looking in the right place. Too many people take financial advice from broke friends, negative relatives, or social media influencers who just fake wealth. Want real progress? Learn from people who are actually living the life you want. Find a mentor. Follow their journey. Watch what they do, not just what they say. How do they spend? How do they invest? What habits do they swear by? Read their books. Listen to their interviews. Surround yourself, even virtually, with minds that challenge your limits. The proximity principle is real. When you get closer to people playing at a higher level, your standards automatically rise. And remember, learning doesn't always require access. You can learn from Elon Musk without ever meeting him. You can study Warren Buffett without ever shaking his hand. Success is documented. The question is, are you humble enough to study it? 21. Don't compete. Collaborate. In the scarcity mindset, everyone is a competitor. In the abundance mindset, everyone is a potential collaborator. Want to attract money? Stop trying to do everything alone. Build with people. Partner with talent. Share value. Collaboration multiplies speed, reach, and impact. Think of the biggest business empires: Apple, Tesla, Google. None of them were built by one person. They were built by teams, alliances, shared skills. Even influencers collaborate. Podcasters cross-promote. Entrepreneurs join forces. Because two people aligned on a mission can achieve more in 1 year than one person hustling solo can in 5. Drop the ego. Drop the need to win alone. Share the stage. Elevate others. Help people rise, and they'll help you. That's how wealth spreads. 22. Use technology to grow, not to escape. Most people use their phones to scroll. The wealthy use theirs to scale. It's not the technology that's the problem. It's how you use it. You have access to more opportunity in your hand than kings had 100 years ago. Yet most of us waste it on distractions. Want to let money chase you? Turn your phone into a money machine. Use it to build a brand, create content, sell products, learn skills, automate tasks. You can start a business with apps, build an audience with video, and grow your wealth, all from your pocket. The question isn't, can I make money with this? It's, am I using this to grow or escape? If your screen time is mostly Netflix, games, and gossip, you're escaping. If it's tools, education, and building, you're evolving. Don't let your greatest asset become your biggest liability. 23. Create more than you consume. Creators get paid. Consumers get entertained. And there's nothing wrong with consuming, but if that's all you do, you're funding someone else's dream. The second you shift into creation, making videos, writing content, designing products, building tools, you shift into the wealth zone. Every piece of content is digital real estate. Every product you launch is a new stream. Every blog post, podcast episode, and video is a seed. And the more you plant, the more you harvest. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Show up. Share value. Ship your ideas. You don't need 1 million followers. You need momentum. And momentum starts with that first piece of content, no matter how messy. Because when you create, you own. And when you own, money finds you. 24. Obsess over value, not price. The average person asks, how much does it cost? The wealthy ask, what is it worth? That's a critical distinction. Poor mindsets chase cheap. Rich mindsets chase value. They'll pay $1,000 for a course that saves them 5 years. They'll hire mentors, not just watch free YouTube videos. Why? Because they know the right investment multiplies. Fast. Cheap thinking is expensive. That $10 a month shortcut might cost you 6 months of progress. That free advice might delay your breakthrough. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Learn to recognize the difference and act accordingly. Ask, does this investment give me time, skills, or opportunity? If yes, it's worth it. If not, pass. Wealthy people don't spend less. They spend better. 25. Let money be your employee, not your master. The moment you realize money works for you, not the other way around, your life changes. Most people are slaves to money. They wake up thinking about bills. They work jobs they hate just to stay afloat. That's not freedom. That's financial survival. Flip it. Let money become your employee. Every dollar you save or invest should be doing a job. Is it earning interest? Is it funding a business? Is it buying back your time? The wealthy don't just earn money, they deploy it. Treat your money like staff. Lazy dollars get fired. Productive dollars get promoted. And the more employees you have working while you sleep, the faster you build freedom. That's the game. Not just earning more, but making what you earn work harder than you do. Stop flexing. Start building. We live in a world that rewards appearances. Flashy cars, designer clothes, luxury vacations. Everyone wants to look rich, even if their bank account says otherwise. But here's the brutal truth. Flexing wealth doesn't build wealth. In fact, it usually destroys it. When you chase status over substance, you drain the very resources you need to build a real financial future. You're spending money to impress people who aren't paying your bills, and that is the fastest way to stay broke. Real wealth. It's quiet. It's built behind the scenes, not broadcast for validation. The truly wealthy don't need to prove anything. They let their results speak. They drive practical cars, invest in assets, and reinvest profits instead of showing them off. Why? Because they know money loves discipline. It loves focus, and it flees from ego. In 2010, Mark Zuckerberg drove a manual transmission Acura while running Facebook, a billion-dollar company. Warren Buffett still lives in the same Omaha home he bought in 1958. These aren't outliers, they're patterns. Wealthy people prioritize growth, not image. Think about the compound effect. Every $500 you drop on a brand name item could be $10,000 in your investment portfolio 10 years from now. Every time you choose to build instead of boast, you widen the gap between short-term attention and long-term power. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy nice things, but it means earn the right to buy them. Let your investments pay for your lifestyle, not your salary. Delay the flex and build the foundation first. Because true wealth isn't loud. It's freedom, it's control, and it's peace, and none of that fits in a shopping bag. Make every dollar accountable. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear without asking permission. That's not a glitch, it's human nature. Money leaks through fast food, impulse buys, and used subscriptions and last-minute splurges. One small, untracked expense at a time, your financial potential vanishes into thin air. But here's the truth. Wealthy people don't just earn more, they manage better. And the key, every single dollar has a job. No exceptions. Making your dollars accountable doesn't mean living like a monk. It means giving each dollar a purpose. Is it saving, investing, funding your business, building a skill, or is it just wandering into another delivery app receipt? When money is assigned to a mission, it starts working for you. When it's unaccounted for, it works against you. This is why budgets exist, not to restrict, but to empower. A zero-based budget, for example, forces you to plan out every dollar you earn. No leftovers, no floating cash, no miscellaneous. It gives your finances structure, clarity, and control. You don't wonder where the money went. You already told it where to go. Take Jeff Bezos when he was running Amazon in its early days. Every penny in that startup had a purpose. Nothing was wasted. That kind of ruthless accountability made Amazon lean, agile, and ultimately unstoppable. You can run your life the same way, with precision and intention. Apps can help, but mindset is king. You don't need to track like a bookkeeper, but you do need awareness like an owner. Even a simple daily habit, checking your accounts every morning, builds accountability. Ask yourself, what did I spend yesterday? Did that move me forward? When every dollar serves a mission, your money becomes a team. Not chaos, not confusion, but a focused force pushing your life in the direction of wealth. And the best part, it's not about how much you make. It's about how intentionally you move. Even someone earning $3,000 a month can build serious wealth if every dollar works. Don't get rich to look rich. Get rich to be free. Why do most people want to get rich? Be honest. For many, it's about status, the car, the penthouse, the applause, the envy. But here's the trap. Chasing money to look rich is a game with no finish line. There's always someone with more. A better watch, a bigger yacht, a louder life. You never arrive, you just keep competing. And slowly you lose yourself. But the real win, it's not the flash, it's the freedom. The freedom to wake up without an alarm, to work on what excites you, to walk away from anything toxic, a job, a client, a relationship, to spend your time how you want, with who you want, on what matters. That's the kind of wealth that doesn't show off, but quietly changes everything. Freedom means choices. Want to take 6 months off to travel? You can. Want to homeschool your kids? No problem. Want to build a company without outside pressure? You're funded by you. Real wealth gives you power over your life, not just decoration for it. Look at people who've made it, not just financially, but spiritually. They don't chase applause. They chase peace. They invest in experiences, not just labels. They buy back time, not just trinkets. They say no more often than yes because they can. That's the kind of rich you want, not the Instagram kind, the sovereign kind. Because here's what most don't realize: looking rich often keeps you broke. The debt, the stress, the pressure to maintain the image, it's a prison. But being rich in assets, options, and clarity, that's liberation. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to post it. You just live it. So before you chase the next paycheck or next flashy goal, pause and ask, is this getting me closer to freedom or just closer to friction?